I'm Robin.
And I'm Julie.
We're two mamas who love inspiring healthy living.
After facing family health challenges and seeing how natural solutions transformed our lives, we are determined to help other mamas thrive, not just survive.
What if feeling awesome every day is possible for you and your family?
Come along with us on our natural journey.
Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Julie.
Welcome to our podcast,
Helping Mamas Thrive.
We don't know what episode number it is.
No idea. This is what happens when you have so many. You're just like,
yeah. But we do know the topic name.
Really?
Yeah.
Fill me in.
It is. I thought of it before. Secret Tips of Wellness by Julie.
Ooh, I like that. Excellent.
Yeah.
That's me. Julie me.
She's so mortified by this. But seriously. I told her she has so many good ideas. Julie doesn't love the attention, but she has so many good ideas, and she does really a lot of things, that little known things that people really don't know about. So I was like, we're doing an episode on you. She's like, no. I'm like, yes. So thank you, Julie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
For her.
It really is. It pales in comparison to the extreme things that you've done with the Navage and the vaginal steamer and just all the crazy things, the coffee enemas.
And you made me talk about it on the podcast. So this is only fair.
Okay.
And this is not as embarrassing.
It's not going to be as riveting, I have to say.
No, but these are tips that people can use.
Absolutely. 100%.
So what is your favorite tip?
Okay. My favorite one is doing reflexology. So everybody, I think, knows that our organs, maybe they don't know, that our organs and glands are on our hands and our feet, which is so crazy.
What do you mean they're on your hands or feet? Are they connected?
Yes, they're connected. So you can actually have the different points on your hands or on your feet, and you can work on them with reflexology and essential oils in order to affect that organ.
So for example, if you're looking at her hand,
yes,
this point on her thumb goes to her brain, just like the big toe. It's the VitaFlex point. So it goes right in there. So it's a very effective way to get there faster.
Yeah. It is extremely effective. So what I usually do, so the very first Reflex-OIL-ogy class that I took from Laurie Azzarella is the inventor of that. And the first class that I took was actually on the skeletal system, because that is the base of our body. That's a foundational structure for our body. So I thought that was a great place to start. And so from there branched out into the muscular system and other ones. But I loved the skeletal system because along the bony edge on your foot, that ridge on the insides of both of your feet is your spine. And so a lot of times when we start to dip our immune system, things start settling along the spine. And so it is a great way to right the ship when it's starting to tank, and you feel it. Like you can feel it when you're starting to go down. You're like, oh no, I know,
but the difference for us, for you and me, is when we start feeling it, we do some stuff and we don't go all the way down usually.
Yes.
Because we mitigate it.
Exactly.
Things that don't hurt our body. I think that other people do feel it, but then they take a medication or do something that makes it worse.
Exactly. And you're just masking the things that are happening underneath. So the things are still happening, and they might even like accelerate, or other things might start to happen if you're like taking a drug or something to try and help with pain or whatever it might be, whatever you
so that's a great example. So people are like, what the heck are you talking about? So there is a drug that you could take for pain, and it suppresses your body's production of glutathione, which helps detoxify your body. So so we all took that for fevers and pain, and it was making it worse.
So super scary. So I prefer, and everybody in my family, that is the thing we go to immediately. If they start to dip, I'm like, give me your feet. And we start to work on the spine. And of course, we'll concentrate on areas, like you said, the brain, flex points, and things like that. It's also great for focusing on the digestive system. You can just really just go into that point.
There's a special technique with your thumb.
Yeah, it's called the thumb walk. And if you're looking at this live, you can see a demonstration of this, but you can also go on YouTube. But basically, it's like a plow. They call it the plow, the thumb walk. And that is how it's the on and off. That pulsation is what is so impactful as far as reflexology goes, because we're electrical. So it's like that on off switch in our electrical system. And it feels like a massage to me, like when I'm doing my spine on my foot. And I'll do it when I'm driving, like anytime that I feel like, man, I need a pick me up. I only can do the left leg, obviously, when I'm driving. But it's just a great tool to have. So just know that there is reflexology out there. If you pair it with essential oils and Young Living only, you are taking that to the nth level. It's like astounding.
Awesome.
So I love it.
So in our show notes, let's put Reflex-OIL-ogy where they can take a class from Laurie.
Yes.
She's going to be in Orlando.
I know.
In a couple weeks.
Yes, she's doing the muscular system and lymphatic system.
I can't make it. I'd love to go.
Oh, it's so good. She's a master at her craft.
She's so good.
Yeah.
Remember the one
Magic
time she
fingers.
called me?
Yes.
What was wrong with me?
At convention, I don't know.
Yes,
it was a few years ago. And she went to work on,
she took my sock off and started my feet. I don't know. All right. So thank you. So that was hot tip number 1.
Yes.
Secret tip.
Okay. I'm going to do something else for immune system. So gargling. This is something that
she does this all the time. This is what gave me the idea.
The gargling thing is so funny because it's one of those super easy things to do. And I use essential oils. I don't do it with salts, like traditionally, like when you were growing up, you know, that was the first thing my mom would say anytime I had a sore throat. She'd be like, you should get the salt water out, and she'd have me gargle with salt water.
If you don't have thieves and you have Himalayan salt, that's not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely.
That has how many minerals?
Oh yeah. Himalayan salt, 80 plus minerals. So it's really great. Sea salt only has a few. So if you're going to do salt, you should do something worthwhile. Okay. So here are some things that it does for gargling. So it stimulates the vagus nerve. So does anyone know what the vagus nerve is? This is a very important nerve that connects the gut to the brain. The gut to the brain, and vice versa. And it was funny because the first time I think I experienced this was when my kid was little, and he was sick to his stomach, and then he passed out. That was that vagus nerve, like, oh my gosh, we need to shut down. Like we have an emergency happening, and he just fainted. So it's that vagus nerve, and it is so important. And a lot of people don't know we have that connection between the two. So this does stimulate that vagus nerve. And it is also helps with your respiratory system, which is extremely important. And if you're one of those people that need a measurement, if you're doing it with salt, it would be 1/2 teaspoon per 8 ounces of water. Okay. And you can also use thieves. And if you don't know what thieves is, but that's a Young Living essential oil, and it has all the heavy hitters for immune system in there. It's absolutely amazing. So I prefer to do it with that because I think it tastes amazing. It's going to fight bad bacteria. It's going to neutralize acid. And it is also going to get some of that unwanted mucus and out of there, and increase your blood flow to the throat.
So tell us about your technique.
Okay. So, I mean, it's super easy. So I just put a drop of thieves in my mouth, and then I take water and I just gargle for as long as I can.
Like this?
Yep. Wait, should I demonstrate?
You should.
So super easy.
Thieves.
You do that for a long time. So, and you can like open your mouth and kind of close your mouth, make different sounds, whatever feels good to that area. is what you should do.
How many times a day do you do this?
Oh, just once a day. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. That's it. But you can do like they recommend like 2 or 3 times a day
Who is they?
to gargle. I don't know, just like different people who are gargling fanatics. According to the gargling fanatics, they recommend 2 to 3 times a day.
Well, it can't hurt you.
It certainly can. And it feels good. And your throat will absolutely love you. The reason that I think this has been so important for me is that this is the weakest part in my body. If I get
Her
run
throat.
down, my throat. Thank you. I'm pointing to my throat. If I get run down, my throat hurts. That is the first thing that happens.
Yeah.
And that's when everybody will know something is wrong with mom if my throat is hurting.
Remember when you had mold?
Oh yeah. When I had mold, it went right here and totally, I had no voice.
And then she had no voice, but then she couldn't clear her throat.
Yeah.
Right?
I can't.
Remember Matthew said, when is
yeah.
your voice going to be normal?
Yes. When are you going to be able to talk again? I don't know. And at that point, I didn't even know
it was mold.
It was mold. I got muscle tested and I was told it was mold, and I got the right supplement. And finally, after 2 weeks of fighting that, it was gone like in 3 days. It was amazing. So that's why muscle testing is so amazing. It's like, why guess? But I was guessing. I was like, I don't know. It's just, if you lose your voice, typically you think it's immune for bacteria or virus, something happening. So
throat chakra.
Yep.
I always
there we go. Oh yeah, that's true.
But I muscle test, so I don't have to worry about if it's immune. Just everybody's always worried. Oh, my sick.
Yep.
But there's about a bazillion reasons. They just they present like you're sick, but you're actually not sick.
Correct. That's
so okay. So I find this fascinating. So when we're traveling, she's doing all these things. That's why I was like, you should share this, because people could easily gargle. People know how to gargle.
Yeah.
This is not like off the charts.
Yep.
This is something they could do.
Very simple.
All right. What's another cool thing you do?
Okay. So dry skin brushing. So I'm holding up, for those of you that can't see this, is it's a
Here, give me.
Oh yeah. So it's the bristles, there's a lot of them, and it's a very specific brush, and it feels so good. So the deal with our lymphatic system is, if we do not move our lymphatic system.
Tell them what that lymphatic system is.
Okay. That is our major drainage system in our body. And so we have to get all kinds of toxins and things moved out of our lymph, and the system works very well. It is amazing. But if you don't move it, then it gets really sluggish and things get stuck, and we can't have any of those toxins getting stuck. So on the days when I'm not, I guess, working out a lot that day, or I'm not moving a lot, I still want my lymph to move. And so I do dry skin brushing. Now there are different methods, and I'm not an expert. So I learned one method, which is the French method. And there's a very specific way that you do it. And it's important that everything that you brush in its motion is going in a circular pattern, and it's going to the heart. Okay. So you need to Google it or something. Just make sure.
That's interesting, because when Jonathan was little, we did dry brushing.
Oh, yeah.
It was for sensory.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was like a plastic bristle, though. It wasn't wool.
Oh, okay.
And it was not the same technique.
Yeah. So there's many different ones, but this is very specific for the lymphatic system. The reason why you want it to go to the heart is because you need to get rid of the stuff. So it needs to be able to pump out. And so if you're going away, you're just pushing all the toxins to all the areas that it's going to be stuck.
That's what I think I did.
So,
how much is it?
Really fun. Oh, it's super cheap. You can get them on Amazon for like, I think $12 or something. They're super cheap, and they come with this one that I'm holding. You can put your hand in it and do this, but when you go to do your back, there's a thing that you slide in. And my favorite one to do, my arms are my favorite, but my tummy is the favorite. Go around and around, you get smaller and smaller and smaller to your belly button, and it feels like so good.
Do you do this every day?
No, only on the days when I'm like not going to be moving a lot.
Julie has routines. She's very regimented. So she works out like every 3 days.
Yes. Never miss. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
She's very specific.
I have to, because otherwise I would find a million excuses and not get it done. So, um, yeah. So, and you can clean your brush and all that kind of stuff. So once a lot of people that want to do dry skin brushing, I do it before I get in the shower. And sometimes it's abbreviated things. Sometimes I don't have to have time to do my whole entire body. And so I'll do an abbreviated one.
So that would be a good idea for people who are sedentary,
Yes.
who, a lot of our older population,
Hmm.
well, we're all more sedentary than we should be,
Hmm.
but they are not moving. So that
Hmm.
would be an interesting tool for them to have.
Absolutely. It's so great. It's so cheap, and it just requires, you can easily do it if you have both,
Would you add cypress to
Yes.
it or something?
I've never added essential oils onto it because I didn't know what that would do to the brush and everything. So I've never mixed them. So that's a great question. I don't know the
That's
answer to
something that I would do and either destroy the brush or not. But Julie, she doesn't like to spill things or destroy things.
I like things to say how I don't know. And again, I'm not an expert, so that's all. This is just all I know.
I mean, this is like a natural hairbrush.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fine.
I don't know.
I'd be interested in knowing that.
Yeah. So dry skin brushing. A lot of people go out and get lymphatic massages, and and
Yeah.
those are fabulous. But if you don't have the time or the money, to go out and get one all the time, this is a great alternative.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
the next one is my favorite one that she does.
Is that cold showers?
Yes.
Yeah. So this started, I don't know how many years ago, maybe like 5 years ago or something. And
So did you hear her? She said cold showers.
okay, and we do live in Florida. So I had this discussion with someone who lives up north, and they're like, okay, listen, um, that's really great that you do that. But again, you're in Florida. And so cold water to you is not like as freezing as somewhere up north. So I have to admit, maybe I'm not, as great.
Also, it's not cold here.
I know.
So it's not like going from a cold shower to cold air.
Right, which is a very different thing, because in the wintertime, it is more difficult to have a cold shower, I have to say. But conveniently, in my house right now, our breaker keeps tripping, and it always trips to cold water. And so all my kids, they'll be in the shower and they'll either call me or they'll have to get out of the shower and go flip the breaker. And I keep telling them this all would be solved if you just took cold showers. Like, come on.
I'm sure her teens appreciate
Lower
that.
your expectations. Like, just take a cold military shower. You need to be in and out. I mean, sometimes when you have to wash your hair, that is a little more intense. But the cool thing, the reason for cold showers, and it hasn't been scientifically proven, it's all anecdotal evidence, but they do say that it stimulates your immune system and it helps make it stronger. So that's the reason in the beginning I did that, because there was a documentary. There's this guy over in Russia. He's like a hardcore person that has done all kinds of tests, and even like put himself like in the hospital. They wanted to do a monitoring test where they inserted MRSA into him to see how his body would be able to. Yeah, this guy's legendary. I'll put his name in the show notes because he's really fascinating. Anyway, he talks about cold showers. He's like, everybody should be doing these. This is a gift. You're saving electricity. You're saving on, plumbing.
But it feels so good. The hot shower feels
No,
good.
and the hot shower dries out your skin
And makes you tired. But it's still
and it
nice.
makes you tired. Like, why not do cold showers? So anyway, so that's why I do in the morning. Love it.
So is that the same premise as the cold plunge?
Yeah, I guess so. But I'm only literally in there for minutes. With a cold plunge, that's a little more intense, and it is, colder. It's colder and it's longer. So I don't know. That is a great thing. I should aspire to do that. I should.
I mean, I would think cold showers could be a good
Gateway.
stepping point. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Maybe that's my next step. I don't know. I haven't gotten there.
You should get that fancy one, the one that Dr. Jim Bob has, where you can make it hot or cold. Like,
oh, really?
You don't have to put ice in it. There's a thing.
Oh.
And you just make it cold.
Ah, gotcha.
Like it's a real cool bathtub.
That's awesome.
You don't have to drag the ice in there.
See, that's the thing. I know, because I have athletes in my house, and so they will come in with 4 or 5 bags of ice, throw them in the bathtub, and get in, and that's awesome. But yeah, Oh yeah.
They'll do that, but not take a cold shower.
But not take a cold shower. Isn't that hilarious? Yes, that is very true. 100%.
I think your family should get one of these.
I know. Actually, one of my kids does take a cold shower. So one of them does, and that's it. Yeah. So he's right on board. He's like, oh yeah, and he's trying to recruit Jim and other people in the family, and they're like, oh heck no. No, I would never, why would I even choose to do that? But
your shower is super big. Like it's really, even if you took a hot shower, it's still going to be cold.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of air.
That's true. It is. And it takes a long time for that thing to heat up. So I'm saving so much water by just turning it on and going straight in. Now I have to admit, like I start with my foot. So there is a process, but cold showers, great for immune system. Okay.
Wow. I am super
there we go.
impressed.
That's it.
Do you have anything else that are your secrets?
I don't know. I wrote things down, but no, I don't have them in front of me. So I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
What about when you're feeling like that was a hair. What about like when you are not feeling well? What are things that you do with supplements and essential oils?
So I have my go-to ones, but now that I know how to muscle test, it's so much easier. Before I would just have my tried and true ones. Like I'll start with Immu Power, and then I'll go and then I'll get my supplements like Inner Defense for sure. And I'll do, when I go to bed, I will do the Immu Pro. So I have very specific things, but now I just muscle test, so I don't have to waste all those different things. Like I was taking vitamin D, vitamin C, vitamin B at the yin yang when sometimes I didn't really need all that.
I love, that's one of the best things I like about muscle testing is not wasting money.
Yes.
Because I was doing that too. I was taking B, C, D, all these omegas.
Yeah.
Calcium,
right.
Whatever. Your body doesn't need it. It doesn't always deplete things.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're stressed, you're going to go through your Bs.
Sure.
But a lot of us, I mean, most of us are deficient in D, really. Even if,
that's
even
true.
the ones that live in Florida.
Right.
And there's a lot of dispute about taking vitamin D.
That's true.
Supplementation.
I do have to say something about supplements now that you brought that up, because there's something I have been doing for like the past 10, 12 years or whatever. And that is Juice Plus. And if you're not familiar with Juice Plus, you need to get in contact with Robin, because that has been a tried and true thing in our family. And then for the past like 6-7 years, it's been Ningxia Red, which is a great supplement too. But I have to say that there are some things that I do every day because I want whole food getting in. So tons of nutrients. That's something that I do every day, which I mean, you do it too.
Oh yeah.
So it's not anything like
Juice Plus, very important.
Newsworthy.
It is newsworthy. The people, most people are not doing this.
Right. That's
so
true.
You have to remember. And a lot of people are not eating vegetables.
Right.
So Juice Plus is like an insurance policy. That's what I think.
Yes.
It took me 6 years to use Juice Plus once I was introduced to it, because I thought it was so expensive back then.
Right.
And then I was like, no, I need to do this. This was the first. I actually did Juice Plus with 4 oils. Like that was like the first thing.
Yeah. Yes. It is absolutely amazing. So if you want to learn more about that, or like, you need that in your house, contact Robin. And I do have to say something, that these things that I do, before I started like really working on my health, I accepted illnesses and sicknesses like, it just happens. Everybody gets sick. It's just going around. And that is so not true. It is not true. Like we work at it, and therefore we reap the benefit of being well every single day. Now, do we dip down and do we have struggle days? Absolutely. But are we ever down for the count for days and weeks at a time? No, like it doesn't happen. There are so many things that have to get done. Like we can't afford to stop. And
I love that you said that. I mean, and it's a paradigm shift. I was talking about this with somebody the other day, because she was saying people are coughing all over her and they're dirty. And I'm like, yeah, but your body, depending on what you eat and what you do, it gets to decide how it responds. Just because somebody is sick doesn't mean you're going to be sick. And this
Mhm.
is called the germ theory and the terrain theory.
Mhm.
Because if this were true, then all doctors would be sick
Right. Correct.
all the time.
Yeah. All the time.
So it's not true.
Right.
The terrain theory is take care of your body, get it prepared. So when
Mhm.
you are exposed to something, it can defend it.
Mhm.
But if it's using all of its systems just to live every day, then when you are exposed to something,
Yeah.
it can't fight it because it's like I've been fighting.
Right. Yes.
So if you're eating the fast food, if you're eating nothing with nutrients, the
Sugar.
sugar suppresses your immune system.
Yeah.
I just can't with the sugar.
Yep.
And let's say you don't eat sugar, but lots of food have sugar and
Mhm.
we don't
Mhm.
realize it. Like
Yes.
ketchup
Yep.
has so much sugar.
Mhm.
I used to eat so much ketchup. Sweet tea. I used to have
Yeah.
to drink a lot of sweet tea.
Yeah. And if you want to know like the worst offenders, go back to our Facebook live
Yeah.
class where we talked about food in the 5th day of our or 4th day, something like that, of our challenge because that
It was
you
our first day.
yeah. Oh, first day. Right. First week because that is foundational.
That
Like
was called the food audit. But we
that's
also
huge.
talked about sugar and another one. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
drinks. That was drinky. What a great title.
This healing stuff is not for weenies, as Julie says.
That is my quote that has been put on the wall.
Yes.
I made it. I
All
made it to the wall.
all right. So, any other parting ideas of things that you do?
Nope.
I have something that you do.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What do I do?
Positive intention.
Ah, yes. That really does go a long way. It really does.
Obviously people pray. That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is like, a positive thought coupled with an oil and breathing or, remember when that friend was sick in the
Mm.
hospital?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do? Reflexology on yourself. It was before you
Yep.
were quantuming.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did just a meditative prayer and put on oils and there's so much that we don't understand about how energy is transferred, and that's why praying is so absolutely amazing. And so you can do all of those things, those positive intentions. Look up Dr. Emoto's. We always talk about his studies on crystals.
Yep.
But if you are like a non-believer, like, oh, that's all woohoo stuff or new agey stuff. No, it's energy, it's science, and it has been proven. So if you want to go look at his studies with crystals, you will see how the power of intention and thinking can make such a difference in the molecular structure of things.
Yep. I thought of another thing you do.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
What?
Gratitude.
Oh, when you said a GR word, I was going to say grounding because I didn't put that on my
Oh yeah, you
thing.
do that.
Okay.
Too.
Gratitude, yes. And you're really good at this too. Like every night when you go to bed,
Oh
you
yeah.
think through the day and all the things that we're grateful for. Yeah, keeping a gratitude journal, or if you just want to go through them at the end of the day, it moves mountains. That's even in some people's people are trying to come off addictions and things like that. They're made to have these gratitude journals because it immediately transfers their energy toward the lack to the gain. And that's where we need to be. We can't be in this mindset of lack all the time.
Julie, I feel like Julie's exceptional with this. She writes handwritten thank you notes. And
Thanks, Mom.
right. And she just is so thankful for like every drop of oil I give her.
This is very true. And she's so generous with them. So it's a lot of thank yous.
It's like, oh my gosh, you're gonna give me a drop of oil.
Or before we started this, she got out. She's like, let's do a drop of oil because she is so generous. And so we put on freedom, which is she is showing that one. And she took the orifice off, which is the
well, because it
plastic
wasn't
thing.
coming. So this tells a lot about me because I'm not very patient. And so I tried to have it come through the orifice and it didn't in the first second. So I take the orifice out and about a quarter of teaspoon comes out which is like Julie's worst nightmare.
Yes.
She doesn't like things falling, breaking, or spilling.
And the oils are precious and they are expensive. And so
Yeah,
I just, as soon as that poured out and thinking, oh my gosh, that's $23.94. So
freedom. I'm like,
freedom.
you got freedom, babe.
There's so much freedom right here, right now. But if
Right.
we did elevate, you always elevate the frequency
Thank you.
all the time. I
I
absolutely love
like
that.
that. You know what's funny when people see me sometimes they're like, I don't know why I'm telling you this. And I really
Yes.
think it's because of the oils. I
Yeah.
feel like just whatever aura is around me. I can't
Yeah.
smell myself, but
Yeah.
I think people are like their bodies feel better around me or
Yes.
something. They don't
And
know it.
and they probably relax a little bit
Yeah.
and they
Just
just want to lean
tell
into that. Yeah.
yeah, they just tell me stuff.
I love it. So I can't believe I didn't talk about the thing that I do all the time,
Right.
which is grounding. And that is, or earthing, is what people call it. And it is vital. Like we have to get back to the earth. And so I know it's really hard at this day and age to find a clean grass or part of the earth.
There's no chemicals.
There's
You
no
mean. Not
chemicals
clean.
or like if we live in Florida, so fire ants are all over the place. So you have to be very choosy on where you do that, but you can also just hug a tree or stand and touch a tree if you can't get your feet into the ground. But we are a closed circuit. And so if we do not get the electrical charge of those ions that are roaming around just freely, if we don't get rid of those, then we have some issues inside.
So we
So
were never meant to have shoes.
yeah,
I mean, we were always meant to feel the vibration of the earth.
yes,
And that was supposed to be resetting. So, like all these things, the the plants, the animals, the earth, the vibrations, the moon and the stars, all these things were given to us
yes,
and they all help our bodies.
yes.
It's amazing.
They do. If you're trying to reduce inflammation or just feel energized, you need to get outside and put your feet on the earth. And same with our pets. I think one of the reasons why our dogs, in particular, are having such a hard time is because they are not earthing anymore. They are being, inside or they're being put in, they're walking on concrete or they're at a turf dog park or wherever it might be. They're not even earthing anymore, which is so super sad.
This is a huge problem for the teenagers because of technology. I mean, think about like when we were growing up. Let's say I
Hmm.
wasn't even barefoot, but I was outside. I
Hmm.
was playing kickball,
Oh
foursquare,
yes.
roller skating.
Hmm.
Don't come home until the bell rings.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
biking. I don't know. We were just
Yes.
always outside. And
Yes.
now the teenagers, they're never outside.
Right.
Or they even, some kids are. It depends on what age,
Right.
but nothing like when we were
No.
growing up.
No. That is so incredibly true.
And so they don't get that opportunity.
Right.
And plus, they're more dysregulated because of all the technology.
Hmm.
It just goes
Hmm.
the other way. So if you have kids, let them get dirty, let them
Yes.
get grounded.
Yes.
Those are things that are so healthy.
They are. That's why people love going to the beach. So they've done studies on the effects of the beach, and they've even done studies on the wind from coming off of the ocean versus like from a fan. It's totally different. And so get out there, go to the beach. You love going to the beach.
I love the beach in the shade.
Yeah.
I had to be in the shade, but just because my skin is fair. But it's so grounding. It's so resetting.
Mhm.
The ocean waves, think about it, it's like our
Oh
circadian
yeah.
rhythm.
Yep.
Like it's
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
repetition. And then I have like a spiritual thing with the ocean
Hmm.
because I just think it's so amazing. It's like the
Hmm.
great wonder of the world. It's a great
Hmm.
wonder of the world.
Hmm.
It's expansive and amazing, and I'm so thankful God gave us the
Hmm.
ocean. Like I
Hmm.
just look out to the sea and I'm in awe.
Hmm. Yes.
Kind of like when I'm in awe when I see the moon and this like
Robin loves the moon, y'all. It is so hilarious. In fact, if she can't see the moon, it's kind of perplexing for a bit until she finds it. And she's like, oh, there it is.
there it is.
I found the moon.
Yeah. It was so pretty last night. Did you see? It was a
I did
crescent.
not.
You know what Kyle
Amazing.
said was so nice? He
What?
said, I love how you guys appreciate these things. So anyway, you guys should appreciate them too. So these are amazing things that
Mhm.
we need to have gratitude toward, like,
Yeah.
and
And-
not take for granted.
Yes. I think that we do. We just automatically, we're so wrapped up in our own like stuff that we don't pause
Yeah.
and even try and find the moon.
I never tried to, like, until like 3 years ago. This is
Yeah.
a new thing.
It's
And
awesome.
my son loves it
Yeah.
too.
I love it.
So cool.
That is so cool.
Anyway, any other parting
No,
thoughts that you
that's
do?
it.
I thought of all those for you.
Thank you.
Do you want to talk about kombucha
Oh, I mean, we can. For those that
and water?
are out there that
And
get
then we'll
their
wrap it up.
kombucha at the store, I can't even imagine. But that's my one treat. That's the only thing that I do.
Why is
Get
kombucha good?
So it's great for your gut, and it has so many natural things in it. So many. The list of different therapeutic acids that are in kombucha is amazing.
It's fermented, so that's why it's good for
Yes. And it tastes delicious because I put orange essential oil in there and raw honey. And it literally, I look forward to it all day.
you. Look how she's beaming. But if you have a candida problem or
Oh, yeah.
something, it's not good. Which I had to stop. I used to brew it myself.
Yeah.
And I liked lime essential oil in it with the honey.
So good.
Sometimes Julie will make it
Delicious.
for me at her house.
As a special treat. So for those that need a SCOBY, if you're local, I'm not shipping SCOBYs because that is just a hot mess. But if you're local, I have 3 hotels of SCOBYs. So hotels are like mason jars, just have them stacked on top of each other. And so I have to throw them away now because I have so many. So if you're local and you need some, you're
That's
like,
awesome.
hook me up. I'll come
That
get
is
them.
really cool. Well, thank you for sharing all your cool tips.
Thanks so much.
Hopefully people that are listening can take one of those tips. And you know how we always say, just pick one thing, master it, and move on to the next thing. So pick something Julie said, and if you want, and master it and move on to the next thing.
Awesome.
Also like and share
Yes.
this. Yes. And we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. And if you want to support our show, give us a 5-star rating.
To learn more about our practice, visit athelivingtree.com.